And then in other news, which is going to be a broader topic, our good brother Malcolm-Jamal Warner has passed away in a tragic boating accident. One that completely took everybody off guard, because what the hell? What the hell? Malcolm-Jamal Warner, famously known as Theo from The Cosby Show. My favorite show ever, right? The Cosby Show, to me, is the greatest show ever created for television, right? When I say for television, I mean shows for streaming networks too. The Cosby Show is the best show ever. And I've been saying that for years. Now, I didn't just start saying that. It's all on my Twitter. So that really is my favorite show. It seems like a lot of times when people judge shows and they pick the best shows ever, they always pick like a drama show or an action show. Like it's like they act like sitcoms can't classify or don't qualify to be in that conversation. I'm just like, the Cosby Show puts all these other shows to shame. You understand what I'm saying? So yes, the Cosby Show is my favorite show ever. I was hoping that these TV networks and all the streaming services and all that would put their beef with Bill Cosby to the side and show Malcolm-Jamal Warner the ultimate respect and play the Cosby Show in a marathon or let people binge watch it or whatever. But no, not at all. They do not give a damn. Their hate for Bill Cosby is stronger than their love for Malcolm-Jamal Warner. So the Cosby Show remains behind the meanest of paywalls that you'll ever find. And except for me, my homeboy back home, Dames, shout out to my boy Dames. He hooked me up with every single episode of The Cosby Show. So I have it all now. You know what I'm saying? If y'all want The Cosby Show, if y'all want every single episode of The Cosby Show, hit me up, regpodcast@gmail.com. I will make sure you get it also, right? And you know what I'm saying? We're not going to post it on the internet or nothing like that. We're going to, you know what I mean, respect whatever the hell these people got going on. But if we want to get this thing out so we can show Theo the love he deserves and we want to binge watch it on our own, hit me up, regpodcast@gmail.com. We're going to make sure that we watch The Cosby Show at our leisure whenever we feel like it. Let me just read a little bit of this article about brother Malcolm-Jamal Warner passing away. Malcolm-Jamal Warner, who as a teenage son, Theo Huxtable on The Cosby Show was central to the cultural phenomenon that helped define the 1980s, died at 54 in an accidental drowning in Costa Rica, authorities there said Monday. So he was only 54 years old, right? And if you've seen pictures of him, he didn't even look that old, right? He looked younger than that. So he had maintained pretty much, if you've seen Malcolm-Jamal Warner on Malcolm and Eddie in the late 90s or early 2000s, whenever that was, he had pretty much looked exactly the same up until he died. Like he didn't age. Really might have had a couple gray hairs in there or something like that. But his face, he looked the same as he looked on Malcolm and Eddie 30 years ago or 25 years ago, right? Costa Rica's Judicial Investigation Department said Warner drowned Sunday afternoon on a beach on Costa Rica's Caribbean coast. He was swimming at Playa Cacoles or Coques, I don't know how you say that, in Limon province when a current pulled him deeper into the ocean. The currents, man, the ocean is such a dangerous place to be at. He was rescued by people on the beach, the department's initial report said, but first responders from Costa Rica's Red Cross found him without vital signs and he was taken to the morgue. Damn, took him straight to the morgue? Okay, I guess, but it's, okay. Warner created many TV moments etched in the memories of Generation X children and their parents. Also millennials, guys. What? Including pilot episode argument with Cosby about grades and careers and another episode where Theo tries in vain to hide his ear piercing from his dad. Theo was the only son among the four daughters in the household of Cosby's Cliff Huxtable and Felicia Rashad's Claire Huxtable on the NBC sitcom, and he would be one of the prime representations of the American life and black boyhood on a show that was the most popular in America for much of its run from 84 to 92. Biggest show in the world at that time. Warner worked for more than 40 years as an actor and director, also starring in sitcoms Malcolm and Eddie and Read Between the Lines and in the medical drama The Resident. His final credits came in TV guest roles, including the dramatic 4-episode arc last year on the network procedural 911, where he played a nurse who was a long-term survivor of a terrible fire. I grew up with a maniacal obsession with not wanting to be one of those wear Where are they now, kids? Warner told the Associated Press in 2015. I feel very blessed to be able to have all of these avenues of expression, to be where I am now and finally at a place where I can let go of the worry about having a life after Cosby. Shout out to that. He played Theo Huxtable for 8 seasons, appearing in 197 episodes of The Cosby Show, earning an Emmy nomination for supporting actor in a comedy in 1986. Theo was our son. Also, Viola Davis gave him like a tribute. Theo was our son, our brother, our friend. He was absolutely so familiar, and we rejoiced at how TV got it right, the Oscar winner said on Instagram. But Malcolm got it right. We reveled in your life and are gutted by this loss. I'm not eloquent like that, but I agree with what she's saying. He wasn't my son. He was like me. The Cosby legacy, like the rest of the Cosby Show cast, Warner had to contend with the sexual assault allegations against its titular star, whose conviction in the Pennsylvania court was later overturned. Why is this part of this article? Associated Press. Why is this part of this article? This is about Theo. This is about Malcolm-Jamal Warner. He passed away tragically in a boating accident on his daughter's birthday in Costa Rica. Why do we need to know how this is situated in proximity to Bill Cosby's sexual assault case? For what? Warner told the Associated Press in 2015 that the show's legacy was tarnished. My biggest concern is when it comes to images of people of color on TV and film, Warner said. We've always had the Cosby Show to hold up against that. And the fact that we no longer have that, that's the thing that saddens me the most, because in a few generations, the Huxtable would have been just a fairy tale. Representatives for Cosby declined immediate comment. What? Okay. So then they also go into like his life after Theo on that show. Malcolm-Jamal Warner was also part of he was part of the Black American conscious community, right? So me and him didn't hang out, of course. We wasn't never around each other, but I'm saying he's part of the same like thing that I represent, right? Black American hood, Black American manhood, blackness. How can we improve it? Where have we gone wrong at? How do we fix it? You know what I'm saying? He was part of that world. And actually, I had therapy this week, and my therapist actually did run, and they was in the same circles sometimes, right? They ran into each other a few times, and they had respect for each other. My therapist had a lot of respect for him, and they're like the same. They're like 2 years apart. So that's his childhood right there. And I feel like which is funny because my therapist is almost 20 years older than me, but I also feel like the Cosby Show is my childhood. So it's very weird. But that's the thing about the Cosby Show, how great of a show it was. Because I felt like when I was watching Theo, I was looking at it like, I didn't look at Theo and look at Cosby and think like, okay, I'm Theo and I wish my dad was like Bill Cosby. I didn't look at it like that. I was looking at it like, I want to be the type of dad like Bill Cosby is. You know what I'm saying? I seen myself like a Theo type of person, but I had a whole different life to him. But I still was looking at it like I would be like a him type of person. You know what I'm saying? I had issues in school and stuff like that where it was like I didn't really figure out what my reading issues was until I became an adult. I think it was dyslexia, but it could have been something else. But that's what Theo had in the show. Theo ended up finding out that he was dyslexic when he got to college. So he had struggled, had bad grades all through K through 12, and his family couldn't figure out like, we know that you can do this stuff. We know that you're not stupid, but why are your grades not good? That was pretty much me. I made honor roll one time my whole life. Right, one grading period my whole life I made honor roll. Everybody knew I was smart, but I didn't get good grades though. Right, so I was identifying with the stuff that Theo had going on. Right, he was, you know what I'm saying. He always got girls. He was up on whatever the fashionable stuff was. You know what I'm saying. So and it's funny because that wasn't really my generation for real. It just whenever any generation that looks at the Cosby Show probably can find something that they can relate to in that show and not even realize, damn, these people are 20, 30 years older than me. All right. So shout out to him. But I did want to play this clip. I want to play a clip because it's not even just a situation where it's like, oh, we hyping him up because he passed away. You know what I mean? We putting a little extra salt on it, sugar on it, whatever like that. We really ain't. Because the scene that they described in this article that I just read is, first of all, one of the most recognizable scenes in all of TV history. That's first. Second of all, it's in the pilot episode. So it's likely a major part of the reason that the show even got picked up beyond episode 1, right? Because that piece became etched in American sitcom history, American TV history. The whole, I brought you in this world, I'll take you out. Iconic, iconic, iconic. There's no other way to describe that. It's just, and nobody was ever talking to me about like I didn't want to try hard, my brain oozing out my ears. That didn't happen. I was great in science and math, so I had the things I was good at. Anything involving numbers, I had it on lock. Numbers, equations, symbols, I had that on lock. The abstract, because numbers really, people look at numbers as like zeros, ones. This is just factual. It's not. Math is very, very, very abstract. I'm good with the obscure, numbers wise. But when it comes to literature, novels, I am not good with that. I'm still not good with it to this day. So I still don't read novels like that. If I read something, it's a textbook. It has to be an instructional book. I can read a dictionary, encyclopedia, stuff like that, news articles. I can read that type of stuff. I can't read vague apps. So Theo's struggle seemed to be with kind of everything. My struggle was mainly around like reading and fictional type of stuff. But anyway, shout out. I just want to be a regular person, live a regular life. Shout out to Theo, because this is a regular podcast on a regular network. Shout out to Theo, man. Tragic situation. 54 years old. So the reason me and my therapist was actually talking about this is because we started talking about how we feel and the anxiety that is induced around Black male mortality, premature mortality, right? Premature death. That's what we was really talking about. And like how does that affect how we are in relationships? How does that affect how we are with our parenting, right? So I was just breaking down how it definitely impacts me. And it's not even just like a celebrity thing, because it's really not a celebrity thing at all. It's really about people I know, people that I don't know, rich people, poor people, fat people, skinny people, healthy people, unhealthy people. It doesn't really seem to matter. It seems just like Black men, even if you make it out the streets, then you make it to 50-something years old, then a heart attack is getting at you. Or you make it out the military, and then you make it into your 50s, and then a car accident kill you. Like, it just seemed to be like, damn, we can't really, how do we really like, and of course, plenty of Black men make it into their 70s, right? But it seems just like lately, the cancers and the sicknesses and the accidental deaths and there's all type of random things just keep happening. We just keep hearing these stories about Black men, prominent and otherwise, dying very early in life, way too early. So that's the thing that induces anxiety. Let me play something real quick from, this is the last podcast that he did. Give me a second. Let me pull this thing up. This is the last podcast that Malcolm-Jamal Warner ended up doing. Here's the clip.
Black soldiers are the hands down the most patriotic people walking this earth, because Black soldiers, Black military, these people are fighting. Black soldiers are the hands down the most patriotic people walking this earth, because Black soldiers, Black military, these people are fighting for freedoms that they don't even get to enjoy.
In spite of so much.
To go to another country, fight, and then come home and be treated like you're not of this country.
Right.
Yeah. And it was that conversation. So before I have a thing we talk about all the time. I have a thing about Black excellence and like Black love. Like when you put Black in front of it, it makes it a subset of that thing. Mm-hmm. But then when I started, having this argument with him, not argument, it was discussion about the history of Black soldiers, for the first time, it made me think of Black excellence in a different way, right? Like because Black excellence now is attributed to fame and money.
Never.
So that's been my issue.
Never for me.
With it. Mm-hmm. But now when I'm looking into the story, like Black survival in and of itself is Black excellence.
Y'all heard it, man. Black survival in and of itself is Black excellence. You talking. He was talking. Like I said, he wasn't like a lot of these other actors. He was out here using his voice and he was talking. You understand what I'm saying? Malcolm-Jamal Warner was talking. Y'all go look up his IMDb, man. His credits is crazy. One more thing before we get away from this Malcolm-Jamal Warner topic. One more thing. Because the streets was a little bit in a frenzy about something. And when I say the streets, I mean Instagram, of course. Let's get right into it. It's a little messy, but you know. All right. As you can see what I'm unveiling right now. This is Karen Melina White's post paying tribute and mourning the loss of her dear friend, Malcolm-Jamal Warner. Now, there is an extra piece of detail that is important about that being her dear friend. And that detail is this is actually her ex-boyfriend as well as dear friend. So this is the picture she chose to post, right? So it's a little, you know, this is the picture she chose. And here is the caption she gave. What a profound karmic relationship, my friend. Thank you. Some type of strange emoji. Until we meet again, heart emoji. Love you always and always. Wink emoji. My deepest condolences to Pam Warner, his wife and daughter. So Pam Warner's his mom, his wife, and his daughter. So Karen Melina White is saying condolences to him in this way. They were in a relationship, romantic relationship for 7 years, right? And the reason that this caused such an issue, and I'm sure when I just read it, some of y'all can probably identify with what is probably the issue here. The reason it caused such an issue is because, first of all, she's married and he was married when he died, right? And she posted this picture, right? This is a picture of them when they were in a relationship. And this is a picture when they were loving on each other. You know what I'm saying? Not in any sexual way, but they was loving on each other, right? This is a great love, clearly, that they had together. They worked together on The Cosby Show, and Karen Melina White went on as Charmaine on A Different World, right? So they worked together. They were co-workers, and this is clearly not when they was working together. This is when they were older and in their relationship. People feel like this is very highly distasteful because they feel like she should have chose a better picture and she should not have said some of the stuff that she said. What a profound karmic relationship, my friend. They were saying, hey, this lady don't know what karmic mean. And then she goes on to say, until we've been, and the whole love you always and always with the wink face, people did not like that at all. The reason they didn't like that is because it looked like this may have been something that they used to say to each other back when they was in a relationship. And the wink face, see, I don't really read emojis well. I'm not good with emojis. When emojis blew up and everybody started using them on social media and stuff, I was out of commission. So I didn't really get like the tutorial on how we all as a collective would use emojis. But the way that the wink face comes after the thing, people saying like, oh, this must be something they used to say to each other. And that makes it even more inappropriate because he has a wife. Why are you essentially reminiscing on your relationship while his wife is mourning? Now, I don't agree with that, right? And it's not that I don't agree with it because I don't think that there's some type of etiquette when it comes to how people mourn and all this type of stuff. But my issue is she's not a random person. She wasn't a side chick. She wasn't some hidden person or whatever like that. That was actually somebody he was friends with and in a real relationship with. They was in a relationship, right? She's sharing something that they actually shared together during their time together. So I don't think it's wrong. It's not, to me, this is her true feeling. This is what she is really feeling. This is what she really wanted to put out into the atmosphere about the person that she had this type of relationship with, right? I could see if she was some random old side chick or something like that, right? She's not talking about anything recently. She didn't post a recent picture and she didn't say anything that outside of the scope of him dying would be considered disrespectful. Right. Or yeah, if she wasn't his ex and posted this, people wouldn't trip as much. But because there's the context of the ex and the relationship and he was married and all that, now it becomes a problem. I don't think it is really that big of a problem. And when I look at it, I don't see any, I wouldn't be offended by any of this. On top of the fact that she has a husband. So the fact that she has a husband really tells me she probably was not trying to cause any issues. And she kept it up too. She didn't delete it after. She got a lot of backlash. There's 2,000 comments right here. 2009 comments right here. 1,900 of them are probably telling her, you need to take this down. And she didn't take it down. And I took the picture. I took this screenshot like a day after she posted it. That was like Monday or Tuesday. So there's way more comments and engagement on it now. And they on her head. They on her head in there. So my debate of the week is around this. My debate of the week is dealing with etiquette around an ex dying and how much love should you show them if they have a surviving spouse. Because I'm assuming people have an issue with it because he has a spouse, right? So here's the question. Here's the debate of the week. And I want to know where y'all stand on it. Is it appropriate to express your love for an ex-partner that passes away? I'm talking about expressing your love, like how you felt about them while y'all were in love, right? Is that appropriate? Should you do it or should you not do it? And if you do it, should you do it publicly or should you keep it private? Right? So that's the debate of the week this week. And it is related to how Karen Melina White celebrated the life of Malcolm-Jamal Warner. Y'all let me know what y'all think about that. That's a heavy one right there. Shout out to them though, man. Great show. They did some great work. I seen some funny comments. There's like, yeah, I knew I couldn't trust her when she popped up on Lean on Me pregnant. Like it was funny. It was hilarious, some hilarious stuff. But like, really, this lady is mourning. That's her friend. Y'all don't know her. She don't know y'all. She knew him though. He knew her. You see what I'm saying? So I can't knock her. I can't knock her. I'm gonna be real about it. Can't knock her. I'm not mad at somebody grieving that way. To me, I'm just saying it didn't look disrespectful to me. Y'all mind if we move on? Let's move on.